TipTxt is a two-way text messaging solution to help schools improve campus safety and combat bullying, abuse, and crime. The school promotes its text hotline number to students, encouraging them to report any incidents they witness or experience. When tips are received, they are automatically forwarded to the applicable personnel, such as administrators, counselors, and so on, who can then take action as well as reply to the tipster via text using the TipTxt website. This video will show you how to set up and use TipTxt. We will cover changing your password, creating sub-users, adding contacts to your address book, creating labels and inbox rules, viewing, forwarding, and replying to tips, viewing sent messages, creating templates, and viewing inbox stats. Let's begin. After logging in for the first time, you should change your password to something easier for you to remember. To do that, click the Account tab at the top and then click the Change User Password button. Your password must have at least 8 characters. For a stronger password, we recommend including at least 1 capital letter and at least 1 number. After you enter your password, confirm it and then click the blue Change Password button. When you return to the Account tab, note that under Keywords is the TipTxt number assigned to your account. This is the number tipsters will send their messages to. It is unique to every account, so don't use the one you see on the screen here. Although it displays with a +1, you do not have to include that when you send a text message to it. You should also visit the Profile subtab on the left to confirm that the email address and cell phone are accurate. The rest of the information is optional. If you do make any changes, make sure you click Submit. When a tipster sends a message to your TipTxt number, it will automatically appear in your inbox, where you will be able to read it and reply to it. But TipTxt can also be set up to automatically forward those tips to your email address or mobile phone, the ones you confirmed were correct in your profile a moment ago. It can be forwarded to a contact you've set up in the address book or to a sub-user. You can also have TipTxt automatically label incoming messages or even send an automated reply back to the tipster. To do that, we will need to set up contacts, sub-users, labels, and inbox rules. To create a sub-user, from the Account tab, click the blue Create New Sub-User button. This button will only be visible to the main TipTxt administrator. Fill out the first name, last name, username, cell phone, and email fields. These are all required. The username must be unique system-wide, not just within your school. Check the inbox and login boxes, and then click Submit. The user will automatically receive 2 emails just like you did. One will have their username and the other will have their password. Sub-users have their own inboxes and will not see all incoming messages. They will only see the ones that have been forwarded to them. If you want to have certain incoming tips forwarded to personnel, but those personnel do not need to have a login to the site, you should add them as contacts instead of as sub-users. To add a contact, go to the Address Book tab and then click New Contact on the left. The only required field is cell phone number, but you can include any other fields you wish. When you're finished entering the information you want to provide, click the blue Save button. If this is the first time the number is being entered into TipTxt, the owner will get a welcome text message letting them know that they have been added. It will say, "You are set to receive text alerts per account settings. For more info, reply HELP. To opt out, reply STOP, opt-out code. Message and data rates may apply." Your institution's opt-out code was set at the time your account was set up. Note that when a tipster sends in a text to your number, they do not receive a welcome message. The Inbox tab is where you will land after logging in. If your account is new, your inbox will be empty like this one. The next step to getting TipTxt set up is to create labels. Click Inbox Labels on the left, and then enter your label in the box and click Add Label. You can create as many labels as you want. These will help you categorize and sort your tips. You may wish to have one for each problem you are trying to target, such as one for bullying, one for vandalism, one for guidance issues, and so on. I will enter bullying and click Add Label. If you want to delete a label, just click the red dash next to it. Now let's go back to the main inbox. The next step of setting up TipTxt is to create an inbox rule. The best practice we recommend is to create 3 types of rules. One generic More Info rule to handle incoming texts where the tipster wants to get more information about how to use the service. A series of 911 rules to handle incoming texts where the tipster mentions certain hot button words such as gun or kill. And lastly, a series of situational rules which will handle incoming texts that mention the issues you are trying to target, such as bullying, vandalism, etc. Alternately, if you have one TipTxt number for the whole school district, you could set up one inbox rule for each campus. TipTxt is not intended to be a substitute for 911. Rather, the 911 rules you create will cause automated responses to be sent to certain incoming tips, which will instruct the tipster to call 911 if it is an emergency. As a best practice, you should publicize what hours you will have someone monitoring TipTxt, so tipsters are not under the impression it is a 24/7 service. To create a rule, click Inbox Rules on the left, and then New Rule. First, give the rule a name. This is for your own reference. If you want the rule to be immediately in use, leave the status to active. If you don't want the rule to go live yet, change the drop-down to inactive. Next, click Add Filter. If you are creating your More Info rule, or a situational rule, or a rule for each campus, you're going to leave the message component on text and leave the condition on Starts With. For value, enter the keyword you will have tipsters start their messages with. For example, if you are going to launch a campus safety campaign, your posters and flyers might say, "Did you know you can report safety issues by texting? For more information about this new service, text info to 123-456-7890. Your long code would go there. So in this scenario, info would be the keyword or value. If you were doing a situational rule for bullying, you would instruct tipsters to start their texts with the keyword bully. So that's what you would enter here. Let's enter that and click Save. Note that keywords are not case sensitive. If you were creating a 911 rule, you would want to leave the message component on text, but change the condition to contains. For value, enter the word you want TipTxt to look for anywhere in the text as opposed to just at the beginning. We recommend using the shortest version of the word for the rule. For example, if you're creating a 911 rule, one word you might enter is bomb. That would trigger this rule for a text that contains bomb, bombing, bomber, or bombs. You should only have one keyword filter per inbox rule. Do not enter multiple keywords in a single rule, or else the incoming text would have to contain all those words for the rule to be triggered. The next button you want to click is Add Forwarding Action. There are several actions to choose from in the drop-down. The first one you should always select is Forward to User's Inbox, and then select the user from the second drop-down. If you created one sub-user for each campus, for the high school's rule, you could set it to forward to the high school sub-user. But usually you will forward it to your own inbox. If you would like to automatically apply a label to the message, check it off, and then click Save. Applying labels automatically will help down the road when it comes time to look at trends and statistical reports. You can and should have multiple forwarding actions within a single inbox rule. If you want to be notified immediately when there is a tip, click Add Forwarding Action again, and this time select Forward to User's Phone, and then select the user or sub-user from the second drop-down, and then click Save. Now you or the subuser will get a text message with the tip whenever a tip meeting this rule's criteria is received. The cell phone number listed under Account Profile is the one that will be used. If you do not want to receive a text message, you can instead choose to add a forwarding action and forward to user's email. Select the user and click Save. The email address under Account Profile is the one that will be used. It is a good idea to use forward to user's inbox and either forward to user's phone or user's email in conjunction with each other. If you only set the rule to forward to your phone or your email, then the message will not appear in the inbox at all. And if you only forward the messages to your inbox, then you would have to log in and check your inbox frequently to monitor it for new tips. You may wish to forward the more info texts just to your email, but the 911 and situational texts to your cell phone since they are more urgent. Alternately, or in addition, you can set them to forward to a specific contact, such as your campus security officer or guidance counselor. From the drop-down, select Forward to Contact, and then select the contact from the drop-down box, and click Save. The last section allows you to set up an automatic response to all tips that start with or contain the keyword you set up above. Suggested auto responses include thanking the tipster, advice on what to do, such as the name of an adult they can talk to, or to call 911 if they are in immediate danger, etc. To enable an auto reply, check this box and then enter the text of your response. Keep in mind you are limited to 160 characters. If your reply is 161 to 320 characters, it will be sent as 2 text messages. The system will count your characters for you. For your more info rule, the auto reply could say, please describe the incident, who was involved, the date and time, and the location. Thank you for helping make our school safer. For your 911 rules and situational rules, the auto reply could say, thank you for the tip. If this is an emergency, please call 911. When you are finished, click the blue Save button at the bottom. If you ever need to modify an existing rule, navigate to the inbox, list rules, and then click on the rule you wish to edit. Make your changes, and then go to the bottom and click Save. To delete a rule entirely, check the box on the left, and then click Delete Inbox Rules. Next to each inbox rule, where the criteria is text that starts with, is a button that says Show QR Code. QR codes are 2-dimensional barcodes, which most smartphones can read data from if they have a QR code app installed. To help you publicize TipTxt, each rule you create has its own QR code, which, when scanned, will generate a text message addressed to your long code with the appropriate keyword at the beginning. Note, there are many different scanning apps available, and this functionality may not be fully compatible with every app. The QR code can be saved and printed on posters, leaflets, and so on, making it easier for potential contacts to utilize the TipTxt service. Throughout the system, you will notice orange help buttons on the left. Click these to view helpful information applicable to the page you are on, and then click within the help section to collapse it. Now that we've set up a rule, let's test it. I'm going to text bully with a tip to my long code. Note that your long code appears at the top of your inbox rules screen for your convenience, in addition to displaying under the Account tab. A few moments after I sent my message, I got the auto reply that we set up in the rule, and it tells me to call 911 if it's an emergency. The next part of the rule said to apply the label bullying, which happened, and then also to forward the message to my inbox, as you can see it's here, and to my cell phone. Since texts are by definition short, the entire content of an incoming message displays in the message column. I can also see the source and the date it was received. If a label was automatically applied as part of a rule, you will see it in the Labels column, but you can also manually apply a label using the drop-down. If you want to forward the text to a subuser, click on the message and then select the subuser from the drop-down box and click Pass to Subuser. Doing so will remove the message from your inbox and put it in that subuser's inbox. If you want to reply to the text, in addition to any auto reply that may have already been sent, simply click on the message and then click Reply. You'll be prompted to add the contact to your address book. All that's required is the cell phone, which automatically populates. Simply click Save and you'll be redirected to the reply screen. Type out whatever response you would like to say, or if you have created one previously, you may select a template. After composing your reply, click Send. You are taken to the outbox, but since the message went out immediately, it is already under Sent. To view the status, I can click on the message and then look on the right-hand side. The green dot indicates that this message was sent successfully. To view the history of messages with this particular tipster, click on the chat bubbles on the left. To set up a template, click the Templates tab at the top and then click New Template on the left. Type out your desired content, keeping in mind the 160 character limit. Then click the blue Save Template button. You can also add a signature that will appear at the end of every message you send except for auto replies. Keep in mind again that this will add characters to any sent message, and if the combination of the message you write plus the signature exceeds 160 characters, the recipient will get 2 texts. After a few weeks or months, you may want to know some statistics about the messages you have been getting. From the inbox, click Inbox Stats on the left. Here is where labels come in handy. You check off the labels you want to compare and then set the time frame you are interested in or leave it on Display All. I will compare bullying and crime, and I will leave my time frame on Display All and click Compare. You will see a pie chart indicating how many messages of each type have been received along with what percentage they represent out of the labels you chose. Here I can see that among the 2 labels I chose to compare, bullying and crime, bullying makes up the largest share by far. This helps you analyze where the problem areas are so you can target your resources accordingly. Over time, the goal would be for the number of texts about bullying to decrease, a trend you would be able to discover by running the same report at a later date. This concludes the video tutorial for TipTxt. If you have questions or need support, please contact the email address on the screen.